I invite you to reflect this evening on the word utang na loob. How do you translate utang na loob into English? Well, you cannot really translate it literally, otherwise it makes no sense. Rather, you look for what people call a dynamic equivalent, like a debt of gratitude. Depending on the usage, utang na loob can be a more archaic way of saying in Tagalog, please, utang na loob, gawin mo to. Or, do me a favor, or I owe you one. Well, we know what utang is, literally. It is something loaned to you which you are obliged to pay back in due time. We also know what loob is. It is something that comes from within. And so we know that utang na loob is not about an external transaction or a material or financial sort of indebtedness, even if it might involve some money. It has to do, rather, with that inner drive or compulsion to be kind because someone has been kind to you, or to be generous because someone has been generous to you. You can try to express it by reciprocating, as in wanting to find an opportunity to pay back a favor. Or sometimes you cannot pay back, you just pay forward, as in extending a favor to someone else, especially pag hindi mo siya ma-reciprocate. Well, our gospel this evening is a parable, and we might miss the point if we read and interpret it literally. It is not about a master praising his steward for being dishonest. It is really about a master learning in the end through his steward that loans come in many forms. Maraming klaseng utang. If he thinks he is wise by lending money and demanding a big interest payment for it, his steward is even wiser because he is able to use somebody else's money or capital and claim a different kind of interest for it. Ibang klaseng utang, utang na loob. As in most stories, nasa dulo ang moral of the story. And the summary given by Jesus in the gospel is, the children of this world are wiser in dealing with their own kind than the children of the light. Kasi they know how to translate their worldly values in spiritual terms and develop yung tinatawag kong the concept of spiritual capital, or even better, spiritual investment. Merong isa pang gospel parable that drives home basically the same point. I'm sure you would remember that parable about a master who embarked on a journey and entrusted different amounts to 3 different stewards. And then he came back to demand an accounting and to check if somehow nagkaroon ng return of investment. And only the first 2 were able to give a return of investment. At ang sabi ng master, well done, good and faithful servant, because you could be trusted with little things, I will entrust to you greater responsibilities. Little things and greater things. Ibig sabihin, the material goods of this world, kahit importante sila, are just little things compared to the greater investments that the Lord wants us to engage in. Tulad ngayon, right at this moment, you could have used your time for something else. But you came here and you allotted this time to pray with the church. That is a different kind of investment.